welcome to Fearox Frank Reviews. Last review, I said I was going to review a zombie film. Well, today, I am going to fulfill that promise. With Return of the Living Dead Part 2. The sequel to the original Return of the Living Dead, which is also a pseudo-sequel to Night of the Living Dead by George A. Romero. Am I doing a barrage of sequels this month? What the hell? Seriously. I mean, the last film was like a Stephen King sequel. Now I'm doing a zombie film that's a sequel to a semi-sequel to a great film. Well, supposedly... Well, technically, this Return of the Living Dead is not exactly canon to the Living Dead franchise. But, that's speculation, and compared to all the ridiculous shit that's been going on with these movies. And I just realized that the entire screen is black and white. What the hell? I mean, this happened last time with Halloween. I mean, why is it doing it now? I don't know. Well, 245 Trioxin strikes again in Return of the Living Dead Part 2, which is a sequel to the original Return of the Living Dead, which, well, let's face it, it's not really a sequel. Well, Return of the Living Dead is not exactly a sequel to Night of the Living Dead. If it was, it would have been one really fucked up sequel, because it was more horror comedy than it was a horror film. Now, Return of the Living Dead was very unique because it was a horror comedy, because it mixed in the horror elements and the comedy elements, smacked them both together, and to be fair, with a ridiculous amount of gore and one naked goth chick dancing in the middle of a cemetery, and then she turns into a freaking zombie, and a nuclear bomb at the end, just killing everybody. Yep, everybody dies in the original film, but in this one, they don't die. This movie basically follows a young kid as he has to deal with bullies who accidentally open the trioxin. So, the movie opens up with the fact that the military has now cleaned up their mess again from the last film, and they actually have the canisters, and they're taking it out of it, and they're securing them in a much more safer place. But before they do, one of the canisters gets loose and rolls into a small town, and somehow winds up in the sewer to a cemetery. How that happens is beyond me. Seriously. Seriously, I mean, I don't even know how the hell that was even possible. I mean, it falls into a river and then it winds up in a sewer drain right next to a cemetery. How the hell is that possible? Yeah. I should also mention this movie is more humorous. Yeah, this movie has more comedy elements than it does horror elements. And honestly, even though in the back of the box says it's rated R, it really doesn't feel like it's an R-rated movie. Yeah, there are some R-rated elements into it, but it feels like it's a more watered-down R-rated film. It feels more PG-13. In fact, I think if anything, this movie is a PG-13 horror film if you think about it. I mean, there's technically there are R-rated movies that are, when you look at them, they're really PG-13. I mean, look at Friday the 13th Part 6. That movie was really more tamed and had more comedy elements than the other Friday the 13th movies. So, if anything, that film should have been more PG-13. In fact, the guy who plays Tommy Jarvis in that movie is in this movie, too. In fact, the same people who worked on that movie worked on this film. Coincidence? Think about that. Coincidence? I think not. I really think not. If anything, the only thing I'm thinking about is how the hell did this whole thing go black and white? Seriously, what the hell's wrong with my phone filter? How did it go from color to black and white is beyond me. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. So let's just go on with this. Anyway, the whole film is all about a kid, so that may explain why the movie is more humorous and is much more light-toned compared to the original movie, which was obviously a hard R film. This one is not that hard R. It's more dark. It's more heavier PG-13 than it is hard R. In fact, the one thing I gotta say I really like about this is the cover. I mean, that cover looks fucking amazing. The art style, it looks really amazing. This is pure 80s. That's what I love about the 1980s. The 1980s had some really great artwork when it comes to movie posters and VHS covers. Seriously. Oh, before there was digital media, before there was YouTube, there was nothing but video stores and tons of artwork to sucker people in. And this movie has a great poster. I gotta admit, I love that design. And as an artist myself, I just gotta look at it and just love it. Though if I had to make any improvements, I'd probably get rid of the face to put a skull there to give it more of a horror feel to it. Anyway, the kid's name is Jesse, and his sister, and this electrician they hired, who also went to the sister's school. He's more or less the boyfriend to her now, so it's like, okay, he's the love interest. Like, those two have a semi-love interest. There's a doctor in it. The two idiots who opened the trioxin for the last one are in this one too, but they actually have more memorable roles. In this one, it's basically they're redoing the same thing. Even the guy who played Tommy Jarvis, keep this in mind. The actor who played Tommy Jarvis in Part 6 is the same guy who's in this movie and in the first one. And you know what? He basically just admitted something, and it was kind of like a Deadpool thing, where it goes like, "Oh man, this is all familiar. No, I'm talking about you, me, and them." And it just cuts to the zombies. It's like, yeah, because you two are played by the same actors from the first movie. So, kind of fucking obvious. And just milk this as long as you want, because in the third film, you guys are gone. Yeah, this is the last film you two are going to be in. They even have the same joke in this one, too. It's like, if you like this job, you better shut up. It's like this job? Come on! Ugh. Okay, now keep this in mind. When it comes to the Return of the Living Dead, this was the first film I saw in the franchise before I saw the original film, which, honestly, the original film is a lot better because it has more horror, and it has much more, scenery, it has much more in-depth feel, but I actually kind of like this one just a little bit more because I was a kid when I first saw this, and it was on TV, and this, for me, solidified the zombie formula. Survivors trying to survive a hellish night with the living dead, and they come out on top. There is sort of a main boss zombie. The main bully who bullies Jesse, he's actually, he turns into a zombie too. In fact, this is what he looks like right there. Yep, that's him. He's basically the main boss for Jesse. So it's more or less Jesse trying to overcome his bully, who's now a zombie, trying to eat his brains. So the whole movie just goes from them trying to survive, go to the hospital, go to a police station, go to the uncle's house to get weapons. But here's one thing that's odd. Okay, Jesse does wind up calling the military, the exact military division that was actually on the side of the canister that had the trioxin. And guess what? The military evacuated the entire city. So they basically evacuated everybody. While Jesse and the others, at the time, the military didn't get a chance to go to where they were. They were in the housing development section of the city. So the housing development section of the city is close by the cemetery. So they got everybody that's in the city the fuck out. They evacuated everybody, but they left the people at the housing development alone. Yeah, dick move, guys. You know, in a sense, it's kind of funny when you think about it, because they left the survivors at the housing development, and yet it's the survivors that take out the zombies. That's kind of funny when you think about it. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, to be fair, they're trying to survive, and okay, so they find a bridge. Okay, we're gonna leave the city. Wait, what the hell? Where's their barricade there? The army's right there, and they point their M16s at them, and they fire at them, but they back the ambulance out before they could be killed. So Jesse figured out that the military evacuated the entire town, and they were just left behind to die. Because they assumed that they were infected, so yeah. They were pretty much left for dead. Yeah, left for dead. You get it? No? Left for dead. Get it? And who am I kidding? I'm probably going to play this after the review. Anyway, so Jesse and the boy, and they all just get an idea. The zombies eat brains, so they go to the local butcher shop. They get a bunch of cow brains, goat brains, pretty much any animal that's there had brains. So obviously, because, well, surprisingly, brains are sort of a delicacy in certain restaurants. So they grab all the brains they can, and they're gonna go straight to the power plant and turn on the electricity and fry them all, because the boyfriend accidentally just slammed into one, and it goes right into a sign, and it dies from the electricity. So shooting them doesn't work, blowing them up to pieces doesn't work, burning them doesn't work, but electrocution does. At least it sort of gave us closure to how we kill these things now. Because in the original film, these things kept on coming no matter what you did to them, no matter how badly you mutilated the body, they'll still keep coming. But in this movie, we have electrocution. If you electrically shock them, they die. How is that possible? Well, it may have something to do with the fact scientifically their neurons are all activated, electricity is going through their bodies, and so on and so forth. So basically, their electrical currents going throughout the entire body, because the trioxin reactivates the body, so everything that was dead is reactivated. That includes all the electrical neurons that's going on in their brains. So a foreign electric current can shut it all down, killing them instantly. You know, now that I think about it, it's kind of ridiculous to know that you can actually take these fuckers out with tasers. Seriously, just go in there with tasers instead of guns. It's like, you know what? Here, keep your pistol. I got my taser. There. He's dead. Go ahead. I got his mouth. Oh, look, he's biting me. He's dead, okay? Shooting them doesn't do shit. Burning them doesn't do shit. In fact, it makes it worse when you burn them. Blowing them up doesn't do jack shit. But electrocution kills them. Yeah. Morons. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, why the fuck didn't the military even realize that? I think it's because of the fact these zombies that the trioxin and the zombies were so dangerous they didn't even bother to actually, electrocute them. Man, what the hell? I mean, that's just weird now that I think about it. But yeah, electricity does kill them permanently. It just shuts the body down. So yeah, you don't need to burn the bodies afterwards. Just shut it down completely with the electricity. So they head to the power station. So they lure all the zombies to the power station with all the dead cow brains and animal brains that they get their hands on. And, they lock them out. And they lock up the zombies. And they try to set everything up for the ultimate trap to electrocute all the zombies. So they basically... but they shut the power off before they can do anything. But, before they're set to open up the gates and let the zombies come flooding right in... The bully climbs over the gate and opens the gates just before they were ready. So Jesse, the girlfriend, and the boyfriend, the doctor, who's actually another big comedy relief. He's actually just he's not with them. He's actually in the power station getting drunk. Fucking asshole. So yeah, the three of them are stuck in the truck in the back inside of the container. Jesse climbs out, gets into the driver's seat, drives the truck all the way through to the power station, and he runs up the stairs, and he has to deal with the bully. The bully zombie and him just have a bit of a scuffle. Doctor tries to help, but Doctor is kind of an idiot. So he actually smashes over a giant whiskey bottle over the kid's head, and it's like, oh, sorry. Kid's about to bind him, and Jesse just kicks the kid right into the power transformer, and Jesse turns on the power and just electrocuting all the zombies, so they're all dying. And I don't know why, but I think this was really kind of screwed up. But one of the zombies comes right in wearing the Michael Jackson Thriller jacket and starts to do a ridiculous dance, and then dies. What? I mean, what the hell? I mean, where did that come from? It was like the most random thing in this movie. Well, to be fair, the military comes right in. They clean up the mess, and Jesse, the doctor, the sister, and the boyfriend, they all leave and they live, their daily lives again. However, they missed one zombie head. It's actually part of a little bit of an ongoing joke that went on for a while. And the joke was like, supposedly when the grave diggers actually went in early in the movie, the two guys from the previous movie come back in as grave diggers. They decapitate one corpse head. It comes to life, and they left it at Jesse's house, and there's sort of a bit of a joke with the commentary saying that one of the zombies actually brought the head along just to keep it because he wanted company. Okay, fine, I'll accept that. But I don't know how the hell the head survived. So what happens? Well, they torch the head. It's like, all right, no more brains for now. And we get the end credits. And I gotta be honest. When I first saw this movie, it was on the Sci-Fi Channel back in the mid-late 90s. So it was heavily edited. So it was more PG-13 related. But however, the DVD version and the TV version have two different end credits songs, which I thought that was weird. But maybe it's the Mandela effect for me, because when I heard the song the first time around, all right, the song on the DVD is it's called Back to Back, I think. It's a heavy metal song from the 1980s. But on TV, on the Sci-Fi Channel, they replaced it with the Monster Mash song. It's a Monster Mash. The Monster Mash. So, that was a little weird. I mean, why is that song? That's a family-friendly song in a zombie movie. I don't get it, why Sci-Fi did that. But, I don't know. Maybe it's me and the Mandela effect, because when I remember watching this movie again on DVD, that song was nowhere to be found. Although it was credited at one point towards the end of the movie. At the end. Yeah, it's weird. When they credit all the songs that were used, the Monster Mash was actually right there. So I'm like, okay. So I'm guessing the song was used as a backup in case the song they had originally on the end credit sequence was not allowed in certain other areas of the world, or they couldn't broadcast the song for some reason because of a copyright issue. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Well, anyway, that's my review of Return of the Living Dead Part 2. Would I recommend this movie to my friends and colleagues? You know what? Yeah, I would, because in my opinion, this movie kind of pioneered the whole zombie survival trait and the formula of how to survive a zombie apocalypse. And I guess if anything, if I had to this kind of made me think of Resident Evil 2 a lot, because after I saw this movie, I wanted to play in the Resident Evil game series, and the second game reminded me a lot of this movie. I don't know. I think it's a little weird, but hey, shit happens. Well, anyway, that's my recollection, and that's my review on this movie. I personally do like this movie. It's silly, yeah, but this movie holds a lot of nostalgia for me. However, tune in next time and we'll take a look at a movie that came out just 30 years ago, a few days ago. What I mean by that is, the last review I did was on Martin Luther King Day. I was unaware of it at the time, but it turns out that 30 years ago on that particular day, 30 years ago, we got another monster movie series that came out. So tune in next time and we'll take a look at the first movie that started it all for that franchise. Till then, take care. Now, where's my Live for Dead game?